In this topic, we're going to discuss anaerobic respiration. So we're going to look at what is anaerobic respiration and how it happens in muscle cells, something called the oxygen debt, yeast and how yeast is used to make wine and bread, and then the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So what is anaerobic respiration? Well, I'm sure you've heard of the term lactic acid. This is produced when you sprint or exercise vigorously and your muscles need to respire anaerobically because they don't have enough oxygen. What about alcohol? How is this made? This also uses anaerobic respiration where yeast respires anaerobically to produce ethanol. Anaerobic respiration is also used in bread making. So what is the definition? It's the release of a relatively small amount of energy by the breakdown of food substances in the absence of oxygen. So keywords to remember is small amount of energy and absence of oxygen. Now, when you exercise, have you ever stopped and wondered what is actually happening in your muscles? Your muscles need oxygen and glucose to respire aerobically. But during vigorous exercise, your heart and lungs cannot get enough oxygen to your muscles quickly enough. So your muscles start to respire without oxygen. So they undergo anaerobic respiration. So during exercise, your muscle cells need more energy, and this energy is made in respiration. This usually uses oxygen, but sometimes there's not enough oxygen to meet the increased demand. So when this happens, the muscles can respire without oxygen for a short time. So we call this anaerobic respiration. Now the word equation is glucose is converted into lactic acid and energy. And if you're doing extended, you need to know the equation in symbols. So it's C6H12O6 forms 2C3H6O3 and energy. Lactic acid is poisonous, so it must be removed from the muscles and it's going to be taken to the liver and broken down using oxygen. So if you're doing extended, you need to know about the oxygen debt. So when you run sprints in school, you'll find that you're out of breath and need to breathe deeply and quickly even after you've finished the race. This is so that the extra oxygen can convert the lactic acid into harmless compounds. So after strenuous exercise, a person will continue to breathe faster and deeper. So this is to provide oxygen to convert the lactic acid to harmless compounds. And the extra oxygen is called the oxygen debt. Oxygen debt builds up after we exercise vigorously, and it has to be paid back straight away. Now, sprinters build up lactic acid in their muscles, and they often hold their breath during a 100-meter race. So afterwards, they need about 7 cubic decimeters, which is about 7 liters of oxygen, to get rid of the lactic acid. So they breathe deeply after the race in order to repay the oxygen debt. And their heart rate remains high after the race to deliver lots of blood to the muscles to remove the lactic acid that the muscles made.